So you've been wanting to start animating in After Effects, but you do not know where to start. Well, today I am going to show you how to make a simple pop-up text animation that will teach you to use all of the basic stuff you need to know to learn After Effects. And it's actually very simple. So we are going to start off with After Effects up and running, and we are going to click on New Composition, and you can choose whatever name you want to name it. Once you name your composition, you are going to press OK, and boom, you are going to be greeted with a black screen right in front of you. Next thing you want to do is you want to drag the video you want to edit straight down to your timeline, and you are going to get your video, and there you go, there's me smiling. Next thing you want to do is to add your text onto your composition. To do that, you are going to go up here to your tools tab, and you are going to click on the T. Once you do that, you are going to go to your composition, and you are going to click and drag wherever you want your text to be at. Once you do that, you can put whatever you want, and boom, you have your text up onto your composition. Now to start animating and moving your text around, you are going to go down here to your timeline to the left side, and you are going to press this arrow next to the red square. Once you press the arrow, you are greeted with text and transform. You are going to click the arrow next to transform. Here are all the basic settings that you will be moving in After Effects. The first one is your anchor point. The anchor point is that center dot that is going to be in the middle of your composition. The position will help move your text up, down, side to side. Your scale will make your text bigger and smaller. Your rotation will rotate your text around wherever you want it. And your opacity will make your text disappear and reappear. Today we are going to be using your position, anchor point, and the scale. We are going to start off with your anchor point, and we want this point to be in the middle of your text. To do that, you will press Y on your keyboard, grab the point, and move it to the center of your text. The anchor point will be the center of wherever you place it. So wherever you move the text, it will move around that center point. So for example, if I want to rotate my text, it'll rotate around the anchor point. Let's say I put the anchor point right below the text. It'll still rotate around the anchor point, but differently than the other version that we had right now. In this case, we want the anchor point right in the middle of your text. Next up, we are going to use your position to move your text down wherever you want your text to be. I want my text to be right here, right smack dab on the bottom part of my video. And to start the animation, we are going to use the scale property. Now to start animating, you are going to choose wherever you want your animation to start. So for example, I am going to start in the second, and we are going to trim this red bar here up to the second. And I don't want it to go all the way to the 30 seconds, so I'm just going to trim it down all the way over here. Great, now we are going to zoom in so that we can only see the frames of your composition. You know you can see the frames when you see the numbers and an F right next to it. You are going to go to the beginning of the red bar, and you are going to click this stopwatch here on scale. Once you click it, you will get this little rhombus thing. That is your first keyframe. Now if you didn't move anything on your scale, you will have a 100 as a default number inside of your property. But for this first keyframe, we are going to click it, click on 0, enter, and it should disappear. Next thing you're going to do is you are going to grab the time indicator, which is this line right in front of you, and you are going to move it 5 frames to the right. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next thing is you're going to go back to your scale property, click on the zeros, and press 110, and you're going to press enter. This is a little bigger than what we wanted, but the reason why I want it a little bigger is to create a little bounce effect. Once you have that, you are going to click your time indicator, and you are going to move 8 frames to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. For this last keyframe, you are going to press again on the 110 and type 100. Press enter, and boom, and boom. That easy, that is the end of your first animation, and it should look something like this. That looks really good for how simple it is. Now let's say you want that animation to be a little bit faster. What you can do is grab the keyframe and move it to the left a little bit. Grab the other keyframe, move it to the left a little bit more, press play or space, and boom. I like that, so we're gonna keep it that way. Now that looks pretty good, but we can make it a lot better. The first thing we're gonna do is make it look a lot smoother. And at first glance, you might not see too much of a difference, but trust me, there's a difference. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click and drag and select all of your keyframes here. You are going to right click on whichever keyframe you want. You are going to go all the way down to keyframe assistant, and you are going to go and press on easy ease or easy ease in. And your rhombus should turn into arrows like this. Now once you have that, go back and boom, it's a lot smoother, it looks a lot better. If you want your animation to be a lot more pleasant to the eye, which I bet you do, you want to go to the left side of your timeline, and you want to look for 3 circles on top of each other. This will add motion blur to your animation. You are going to click on the box where your bar is, and when we go back, it adds a little bit of motion blur. Now you can use the same properties to animate out your text. So let's do that really quick. So we are going to zoom in once more, and we are going to go to the end here. And I like to start kind of here and the ending. On the ending, you are going to press on the keyframe, but you're not really going to do anything yet. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to move to the left 5 keyframes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click on the keyframe, and then you're gonna go 8 keyframes to the left again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 keyframes, and you are going to press the keyframe button on your scale property. And there we go. On this middle keyframe, you are going to click it, and on the numbers here, you are going to do 110, and your animation should get a little bigger here. Next thing you want to do is you want to go to the last keyframe that you added, which is on here, and you are going to press on the numbers and click on 0, and this should make it disappear. When we go back a little bit, this is how it should look like. That looks amazing. Now, of course, to make it a lot smoother, you are going to click all of the keyframes, right click, keyframe assistant, easy ease or easy ease in. Boom. And there you have it. Now to render your video out, what you are going to do is you're going to zoom all the way out. You are going to look for this little blue line on your right side. This is your work area ending point. You are going to click it and you're going to drag it to wherever you want your video to end. I want my video to end a little bit after the animation, so I'll leave it right there, kind of on this 5-second point. Next thing you're going to do is, if you're on Mac, you are going to press on Command M, or you can go to your composition up here on the top of your computer and look for Add to Render Queue. You are going to click Render Queue, and you should get a new little box down here. On the left side where it says Output Module, you can click on High Quality, and these are a bunch of settings that you can move around, like for example format options. You can click on the format, like for example if it's an animation, Apple ProRes. Now it is an animation, but since we animated on top of a video that we already have, we are going to click on Apple ProRes 422, press OK again, and now you're going to go to Output 2. This is where you are going to choose where to save your video. So you click it, it'll open up your Finder or your Folders tab, and I like to save it on my downloads. It is going to put the name that you added to your composition. You just press on Save. And there you go, you are ready to render. You are going to go to the right side of After Effects and you are going to press this button called Render. And there you go, it is going to render your video frame by frame, so it might take a while, so go get a water break, go get a coffee break, because you just did so much work. And this is where you can also see how your rendering is coming out in real time. And there you have it, that is how you can animate in After Effects. Everything I taught you, from how to use each property to adding keyframes, is all you need to start basic animation on After Effects. There are of course a lot more advanced ways to animate. Even small and basic animations in your video go a long way, and it can help your video look a lot more professional. So if you want more videos like this, let me know, and that's it. Subscribe and listen to my podcast, Butternut Included. It's me, my friends Tom and Chris, where we talk about whatever. I have no idea. Random stuff.